All right, so 5th grade, we are going to be looking at what happens to the mass. And we have a couple of different liquids that we are going to combine along with a chemical. And so just be ready to take a look at what happens with the mass. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to measure our hot water. And so I'm just going to put this beaker on here. I am going to zero this out so that we're not weighing the beaker. We wanna weigh what the water is. And on your paper, you are going to go ahead and write 48 grams for the water. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I am going to put this beaker back on here. Should be zeroed out. Now this is the ammonia, so it's a cleaning solvent. And so I'm gonna go ahead and measure that as well. Okay, and that is what, 64 grams? So you're gonna go ahead and put that onto the paper. And the last thing that we are going to be weighing is our copper sulfate. Oops, I need to go get a teaspoon. Left it on the counter. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a teaspoon of that, and I'm going to put it right here on the Post-it note to measure it. And so if you look at it, it's saying that it is 7 grams, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do is the fun is going to begin with mixing this. Okay, and I think we'll try this. Well, I won't have a big enough spoon to be able to put this in here. So what I'm gonna do is zero this out. I'm gonna go ahead and put this container that we're just going to use to mix it, and so I want to make sure that it starts at 0. We're gonna start with our hot water, and what it tells you is it says to put this teaspoon of copper sulfate into the half beaker of water, or into my water that I have, and we're gonna just go ahead and stir it up. I'm gonna stir it for a good little bit to make sure that that really dissolves really good in there. Smells, and that is not the ammonia that I smell. It is the, I guess the copper sulfate smells like that. Looks, there's a little bit of granules still on there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour a tiny bit into this, tiny bit, and I'm going to go ahead and stir it. Okay. Do you notice how it turned into, from that kind of a really pretty baby blue, and now it's almost like a murky, it's still pretty, but it's pretty cloudy, it almost looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put the rest of the ammonia in, and look what happened, how it turned a really pretty dark blue. And also, if you kind of feel there's a little bit of heat, not a lot, but that's probably from the hot water that we had. And so right now what I want you guys to really focus on is I'm going to stop stirring it here in just a minute. And I want you guys to take a look at the mass and what that mass is.